I did something horrible during my armed services and I need to tell this to someone. So I did this thing and I feel very bad for it and need to get it off my chest. Story brings us back almost 10 years now, to the cold heart of Finland's Defence Forces training grounds, in and around Kiekala airfield. My role in the army was basically to be cannon fodder, a rifleman. Jaeger, without any of the cool gear. During my service, I got pretty sickly, won't specify as to not single myself out, which meant I missed a lot of training. Not much of a loss, just less time eating MREs and flopping around cold, damp forests like a dolphin on dry land. Anyway, during my service I got pretty sickly, won't specify as to not single myself out, and I was off the training quite a bit. Was not too much of a loss though, as I only missed eating MREs and crawling through cold and damp forest, trying to imitate a dolphin on dry land. This particular time, we had a 10-day stint of forest warfare training, but I was getting bored lying in the bed ward, watching TV while eating snacks, so I wanted to go out with the boys. This is a lie? I had to join them out there, carry my rifle around, keep fires going in tents, serve food for the starving brothers in arms, and just make myself of use wherever possible. But mainly just being bored out of my mind, and lying in the Vempa tent, which was sanctified for the losers who were forced to attend, but couldn't do much of anything. This tent wasn't camouflaged, hidden somewhere in the middle of the forest, rather in the middle of a sparsely forested part of the training grounds right near the landing strip and right in the middle of the area that the troops were meant to eat in, one person under every tree. This is important. So being bored, and basically out of useless things to do, I decided to pleasure myself. But not in the way that any sane person would do. Wanting to feel revitalized and alive, with a little drizzle of thrill sprinkled on top, I did what any 18-year-old rascal would do. I stripped fully naked and started to jack off standing up. The tent's opening was a little ajar, so a little stream of cold air was making its way to my already shriveled up gonads, and I had to inch myself closer to the firebox situated in the middle of the tent. Basically standing there, right next to burning hot stove, dick in hand, tent door open, hunched over like Gollum, just having the time of my life. The comedic value was not lost on me, so it was a varied mix of smile and that moronic face that every man wields as they go to town on themselves. It was very hard, without any visual stimulation, so I had a go at it for a while. There I am, doing my best to get this project to fruition. I suddenly start to hear my brethren approaching to get their grub on. I started to go harder and faster, to the point of basically punching my nuts over and over again, faster and faster. As for my purview, I should be serving the food for these wet-clothed, tired and exhausted men of war. I start hearing muffled calls for me and the all-too-famous service long question, where the fuck is Mayliv? I couldn't stop. I had put so much time and effort into all of this, I had to finish. I wouldn't stop even as I hear my buddies taking their usual spots at the foot of every single tree all around the tent. I have to admit, I just waited for one to peer in and see the shitshow that was unfolding, but the difference in lighting conditions were in my favor, so nobody saw me. I have to admit, this weird mix of fear and risk of getting caught was the little push my already ruined young mind needed. I started unloading my 9 days' worth of filth I had stored up and did my best to catch the flying forbidden love syrup with my helping hand, but the pressure was just too much. I managed to spray myself, mine and my buddies' sleeping bags, probably some other stuff too, but the worst of it, the red-hot stove with the roaring fire in it. At first I hit the side of it, but the *TSSSS* sound startled me and made me aim at a higher azimuth, combined with the decreasing chamber pressure made the ordnance land right on top of it. It was a sizable pump too. Post-nut clarity settling in, as I watched my Leidenfrost-affected dancing ball of shame slowly sizzling and shriveling into a white crunchy patch, the smell hit me. And when I tell you it was unpleasant, it is putting it mildly. It had to be a mix of burning hair, 30-day-old sour milk, with a hint of foot sweat mixed in. I panicked, cleaned up best I could, threw my gear on, and walked briskly the fuck out of there. Went to grab my portion of the grub, lied about being asleep and didn't hear the call to arms, ate and tried not to burst out laughing, springing question I didn't want to answer to. I hoped the fresh winter air would get rid of the smell, but it didn't. The hypothesis is that the massacre on the stove kept emitting the cries of despair of the children I would never father. My tent mates kept whining about some disgusting smell that, for the life of me, I couldn't smell myself. Thank God it was the second to last day of training. I don't think I could have put up with it any longer myself. Good times.
Confession 2. I 24F got cheated on by 24M boyfriend. How do I move on? Long story short. Relationship went bad, he cheated on me, I gave him second chance because he asked. Things didn't work out well because I couldn't stop thinking about the betrayal. Later, he wanted a break, and during that he said he didn't want to be BFGF and later broke up with me. I found out he's now moved on within days and is dating the girl he cheated on me with and still wants to be friends with me. I don't know how to let him go. It hurts me so much, but I still stayed friends and kept taking disrespect as he blamed me for everything and sends me snaps enjoying with her and still acts like he cares for me. What should I do? How do I move on? It's been 4 months and I still wake up everything thinking of how can he cheat on me after 2 years of relation and change so much. Confession 3. I, 22F, caught my boyfriend, 21M, of 4 years watching OF. I, 22F, have been dating my BF, 21M, for about 4 years now and it's pretty serious. We barely fight with each other, and if we do it's usually about nothing, which is why we have been with each other for so long. We've never had a toxic phase, it's always been a pretty steady relationship. I have always seen a future with him and have never thought about being with anyone else. Yesterday morning, the subject of OF was brought up. I asked if he's heard about a specific creator and he said yes, but only because of TikTok, but doesn't know anything about her. I had a feeling he was lying, so I bugged him about it all day, but he continued to deny. This morning he finally gave in and confessed to have watched her content for the past 2 weeks. Apparently he doesn't go on OF or subscribe to any content etc., but he was able to find it on the internet for free and watched a couple of her videos secretly. I want to preface that we have established boundaries about corn etc., that it's something we both agreed that is unhealthy in a relationship and wouldn't be doing while we were dating. I got the ick so much when he confessed about watching her, it's honestly so disgusting and I can't get over it. I'm so mad right now I don't really know what to do. I am currently living with him at his parents' house and have been for the past 2 years. I have thought about breaking up with him as I got the ick. I just feel like my future husband wouldn't do that ick no. But I'm also so attached that it's hard for me to leave. I feel so comfortable in life right now that I'm finding it hard to make a choice. I really need an opinion and advice on what I should do now. Is this forgivable? Am I just overeating? Am I able to salvage the relationship?
Confession 4. Girlfriend cheated, now I'm living the life we dreamt together. We were college sweethearts, and let's call her Rose. I graduated ahead of Rose since I was her senior. I started working for us to start build the life we want to have together. She then graduated and got a post in her dream company, where she met this guy we'll call Bambi. She eventually fell for Bambi while I was busy working. They were intimate until eventually I caught her, and we broke up. I must admit, the betrayal hit me so hard and it took some time before I have recovered. But I moved on and got into another relationship not soon after. I then learned Rose got pregnant, and in the Philippines, Bambi should marry her at least to protect what's left of her dignity. She lost her job too. Me and my girlfriend lived our own lives. I climbed the corporate ladder and God has been good to us. We are being blessed with many things. I then proposed to my girlfriend. We had our beach wedding in one of the most expensive resorts in the south. We had our honeymoon in Europe. Wife and I both love to travel and we are visiting different places and countries twice or thrice a year. She only gives birth in St. Luke's. God blessed us with properties. And our kids are attending prime private schools. Later on, I learned that Bambi was beating Rose and eventually moved on with younger woman, leaving her and her son. Knowing this, I somehow felt bad for Rose. Because the life I am living now is the life we both dreamt together.